early this week, I saw this story, and in Oklahoma City, voters there approved, it was an initiative, the voters went to the ballot box, I think it was approved by about 71% of the people, that would institute a 1% sales tax increase for the next 6 years to help pay for a new basketball stadium for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, several years ago, they moved from Seattle because Seattle would not build a new stadium for the Supersonics, and so then they were purchased and moved to Oklahoma City. Now, mind you, the folks who own Oklahoma City Thunder are some of the richest people in the state of Oklahoma. Okay, so go to my iPad. So this is a Forbes story, and it says under the plan, the new arena is going to cost $900 million. But check this out. The owners are only chipping in $50 million. But, they're going to chip in another $70 million coming from a previously approved sales tax earmark for improvements to the current arena. Now, the team would agree to stay in the city for 25 years, and the new arena is going to open for the 2029-2030 season. I want y'all to hear what I just said. The billionaire owners of the team are going to get $1 billion stadium, which, let me explain to y'all what happens. It increases the value of the team when they get a new stadium. So let's say the team is worth $1.5, $2 billion. You get a new $1 billion stadium. They then go, the team is now worth $3 billion. So somebody comes along and buys the team from the owners, they're gonna pay $3 billion for the team. Is the city gonna get any of that money? Nope. But it's the city's building that actually increased the value of the team with the new stadium. Now, same thing happened here in D.C. So a lot of people are in mourning because Ted Leonis, who owns Monumental, that owns the Washington Capitals and the Washington Wizards, that they have announced this non-binding deal with, just hold on folks 1 second, a non-binding deal with the governor of Virginia to build them a new stadium in Northern Virginia. Now, here's what's hilarious about this deal. So they're gonna go from downtown DC to this 12-acre place in Alexandria, Virginia, mixed use. So you know what all that means. They're gonna build shops and restaurants and stuff like that, entertainment complex, all this sort of stuff for the Capitals and the Wizards. And so, again, it's $2 billion. Now, they wanted the city to approve about $600 million in investment to upgrade Capital One Arena. Now, Washington, D.C. got lots of things they have to deal with. Go to my iPad. You're talking about $2 billion for an arena? Now, I love this here, and it's always a lie. So Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, the Commonwealth will now be home to 2 professional sports teams, a new corporate headquarters, and over 30,000 new jobs. This is monumental. Let me explain something to y'all, okay? I covered City Hall in Fort Worth. I covered county government in Travis County in Austin. I have seen these stories all the time, and I'm telling you right now, it's a lie. In Oklahoma City, the experts testified. The economic experts said it's a lie what they're gonna do, talking about, the economic benefit, because they try to suggest that, X number of people are gonna travel in from out of town and spend these money in a hotel. Y'all, it's always a lie. There are very, very, very few sports stadiums. that have actually created that sort of economic development, okay? Very few. But this is the thing that bothers me. What bothers me is that we live in a society where taxpayers will moan and complain about money going to workers. They'll moan and complain about, oh, those folks need to get out their butt and go to work. They'll moan and complain about women and children receiving food assistance, food stamps, EBT cards. But the same society will gladly fork over millions and billions of dollars to billionaire sports teams. One of the economists in the Oklahoma City case said this is one of the worst stadium deals ever. But see, I'm explaining to you why this happens. This happens because they are playing on the emotions of fans. Oh my God, we're gonna lose our sports team. They're gonna move. Look what happened in Oakland, okay? The owners of the Raiders and the owners of the Oakland A's, we need a new stadium. They were sharing a stadium. Now, look, it wasn't a great stadium, but let's remember, the Raiders left Oakland to go to LA, then came back to Oakland. They were always squeezing concessions out of fans. I remember when the Houston Oilers, owner Bud Adams, demanded improvements to the Houston Astrodome. They spent upwards of $200 million to improve the Astrodome. He still left years later to go to Tennessee for a $1 billion stadium. You cannot show me a single city in America that all of a sudden the quality of life diminished because a pro sports team left. You can't show me how, oh my God, housing values have gone down. We no longer have enjoyable parks. Crime has risen. Companies no longer want to come here because a sports team has left. We get punked and played constantly. And you know what these leagues do? These leagues say, y'all got to do it. Y'all need to, especially the NFL. NFL, and, mind you, the same NFL is the most profitable sports league in the country, bringing in anywhere from 15 to 18 billion dollars. Every single person that owns an NFL franchise is a billionaire. So why is it in this society we keep funding billionaires and fall for the okie doke? It is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, Rebecca, and taxpayer money should not be used to build stadiums for billionaire sports owners.
No, it should not. The other issue that's going on here is that what in the proposal to move the Washington Wizards to Northern Virginia is then moving the Washington Mystics from Southeast D.C. in a historically black neighborhood where where the arena that's placed in Southeast D.C. where Washington Mystics play, it was supposed to be create an engine of more development or redevelopment in that area. And so the owners were also suggesting, oh, well, we'll just put the Washington Mystics and take them back up to Capital One Arena, and then we'll just play musical chairs with this. So this is a bad deal for everyone. The D.C. Council passed $500 million in an emergency with the mayor in order to have a competitive bid with the Washington Wizards. I would rather that D.C. uses that $500 million to properly fund mental health in the public schools here, because of the amount of truancy that's happening with kids who have not bounced back since the pandemic. That's a huge issue here in D.C. Not only that, we have 12 and 13-year-olds dying because they're carjacking vehicles. They're taking everyone's vehicles here. They took a UPS truck, a FedEx truck. They took a Secret Service person's truck. They took an FBI truck. They even took an ambulance and a fire truck. So D.C. has other pressing issues instead of trying to write a check for $500 million. And finally, in Northern Virginia, they just gave away billions of dollars a couple years ago to secure Amazon HQ2 for its second headquarters. I'm driving up and down that area. It was called National Landing, and I'm not seeing the level of development that Amazon promised. So at this point, Northern Virginia, the state of Virginia, period, is writing all of these checks to billionaires, and they're not getting a good ROI, a return on their investment.
Suzette, the guys that purchased the Oklahoma City Thunder purchased the team for $325 million. The team today is valued at $3 billion. Oh,
God.
They can build their own damn stadium.
I definitely agree with that. This is a little bit outside of my ballpark, pun intended, but I will say
no, it's not. No, it's not. You're in Miami, and y'all got fleeced. Y'all got fleeced in one of the worst stadium deals when they built that trash stadium for the Miami Marlins. What you on the site, it used to be the Orange Bowl. Again, billions of dollars, and it keeps happening in every city because it's ego. Because no mayor wants to be known as the one you cost us our sports team because you wouldn't fork over the $1 billion.
Well, I was just going to add, sir, that in Miami, we have gotten a little smarter because you have seen this issue kind of come up with international soccer star David Beckham wanting to build a stadium. And he hasn't, over the last several years, been able to convince anybody, whether it's been in Miami or up in Broward, to do so. So he has made several proposals to the Miami City Commission, and it's bounced back. So there are some folks wising up to what many would just call corporate welfare, where we're okay with it for some reason for billionaires, but for the everyday person, as you say, people are up in arms when it comes to, just a penny sales tax here, and for teachers' wages, et cetera. But when it comes to sports stadiums, for some reason, it's a holy grail and no one wants to touch it. But I will say we've seen kind of a little bit of a shift in attitudes here with, like I said, the soccer stadium has not been built to this date. So folks are getting a little wiser.
Here's a joke here. I'm looking at this article here in Forbes. And this is what I think what Mayor David Holt said. Mignon, he said, having a major league team means so much. It said, I love this one. It can't be calculated on a spreadsheet.
Oh, my God.
And transcend the projected economic impact. He said when he talks to investors and job creators in other places, Oklahoma City has clout that it didn't have before it landed the franchise. Quote, the thing about having a major league professional sports team in American life is that it commands respect. And people realize that's a city that must have enough people, enough corporate presence, enough general wherewithal to host one of the world's greatest brands. No, dumbass. It means that you're a fool who's willing to spend $1 billion to build a billionaire a damn stadium.
That's right. That's right. I mean, in fairness, having lived in Arizona where we had a professional basketball team when I lived there, we had the Phoenix Suns. It would be nice to have a professional, sports team here in Virginia. However, not on the backs of the general public. And as the other panelists were speaking about the issues that we have serious issues in Virginia. Post-COVID, our kids can't read. They cannot read. They cannot write. We have so much remediation that needs to happen for our adolescents because of COVID. We don't need to spend that money for a sports stadium. It also reminds me though, and it gets back to voting in some ways, right? Because I was thinking about when we were talking about this stadium, I started thinking about there was a casino that they were trying to push in Richmond, Virginia. They were trying to build a casino here as well. And they had to go, LeVar Stoney, the mayor, was trying to push that through here. And talking about how many jobs it would bring and how much, prestige it would bring to Richmond and how it would reinvigorate business and all of these things. Well, the people of Richmond voted it down. They said no, right? So they saw through it. They saw through the noise. They understood that that some people were getting paid from this, and that there were kickbacks for multiple folks, and that there wasn't going to do very much for the communities. I think it comes back down to the general public. We have to put our feet down and we have to stop it. I'm okay with the Washington Wizards coming to Virginia as long as their people pay for it.
Well, guess what? That ain't happening. Taxpayers are going to foot the bill for that. So that's nice. That's nice wishful thinking. And let me be clear. Ted Leonis, who owns the team, he's worth $2.8 billion. Lorene Powell Jobs is one of the folks who is also one of the owners of the team. Love Lorene dearly, but guess what? She's worth about $7 or $8 billion. They can afford to build, they can afford to privately finance their own stadium. I do not believe that taxpayers anywhere in America should be footing the bill to build arenas and sports stadiums for billionaire team owners. I don't care who they are.